Hey guys, so happy 2021. This is the first episode of Break the Glass this year, and I wanted to start it with a fun episode. I've been looking forward to this one. It's just silly, it's fun. We're gonna be doing some food and wine pairing tonight, but we're gonna be pairing frozen food from Trader Joe's with their wines that they have in their store. So we're just gonna take like my favorite foods from their frozen section. You know that that's that awesome aisle. It's full of just like pizzas and pastas and chickens, and it's like any meal you could imagine, but in the form of like a $2 box, and it's amazing. For me, when I got my first apartment in college, I was like 19 years old, and I was, working at the same time as being a full-time student, and like I definitely did not care enough about making my own meals. I was just gonna, go to Trader Joe's. We had one right down the street, filled up my little basket full of like a week's worth of meals from Trader Joe's frozen section. It was all just cardboard boxes and frozen food, and I was only down like $20 after like buying a week's worth of food. So I really love the Trader Joe's frozen food section. And then when I turned 21, I discovered, oh wow, they have like a really, really good wine selection too. It's nothing like incredible, but they do have some really good wines for a really good price. And so today we're gonna be pairing their frozen meals with their really inexpensive wines, and it's gonna be great. So do you ever wonder how Trader Joe's gets like such cheap wine? Because for me, I was a little skeptical about it at first, not having tried these bottles of wines and seeing that some of them are like $3 or $4 a bottle. So Trader Joe's, they have like this super aggressive purchasing tactic where they find these smaller, wineries out in Europe, California, wherever they may be, and they find these farmers and they go up to them, because these people that grow the grapes, right, the winemakers, they're just farmers. They grow grapes and that's what they do, and that's their, that's what they're cultivating and making, and that's their harvest. And so they go up to them and they're like, hey, I'm Trader Joe's. Can I buy out your entire selection for the whole year? And so imagine, like a farmer, like here in the US, right, we make corn. Imagine like a corn farmer being told, I will buy your entire year's worth of production, and then you have like nothing else to worry about. Like they're like, yeah, buy it, that sounds awesome. And so Trader Joe's, they'll buy it for cheap, and then they can sell it for, not super expensive. So, I mean, it's a great tactic for everybody involved. Farmer doesn't have to worry about the, making like enough sales for the year. The Trader Joe's higher ups, they get to, sell an expensive wine to people, and then us as the consumers get to enjoy a nice bottle of wine at a good price. So they just have this really aggressive and super strategic and awesome purchasing power, and it definitely seems to work. And all three bottles that we're gonna try today are all really solid, and they're all like $10 and under. All right, first up, we got one of my favorites, the hatch chili mac and cheese. It's frozen, of course, but not for long. Pop that bad boy in for 5 to 6 minutes and you'll be good to go. Chicken tikka samosas. They're instructed to go in the oven for 14 minutes, but we've got an air fryer, so we're just gonna put them in there. Next up, chicken and cheese tamales, one of my personal favorites. So for this guy, we just cut them open, throw them in with the husks, obviously, put them into a pot like so, and then drizzle a little bit of water over them. Put them in the pot for about 10 minutes and they'll be good to go. So now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna start pairing the wines with the food. So, and first up is the Cecilia Beretta Prosecco. It's only $10, so it makes it the most expensive wine we're trying tonight. The other wines are even cheaper. And Prosecco is bubbly wine from Italy. It's from the Veneto, which is over here on the map, and it's just super good. Prosecco is the most purchased and drank bubbly wine that we have here in the US, just because of like how quality it is, how good it is, accessible and inexpensive. It's not like, you know, you're buying like a, you know, $60 bottle of champagne. This guy's only 10, and this bottle is delicious. And we're pairing it with the mac and cheese that we made. So this is what the finished product looks like. We just microwaved it. It says you can microwave it or bake it for like, I don't know, you could bake it for like 30 minutes, or you could microwave it for like 6. And honestly, I like it microwave better. I think that it's a little bit, it's like moister than when you bake it. When you bake it, it gets kind of like hard, and I just don't know if baking like the frozen shells is a great decision. But I think that it's gonna pair really well with the Prosecco. Just like a nice sharp cheddar-y cheese with a fresh and uplifting glass of wine. It smells so good. That's absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorite Proseccos that I think I've had. I didn't even eat the food. Let's eat the food. So this is it's the hatch chili one. So it's ever so slightly spicy, but if I can handle it, anyone can. That's a delicious bowl of mac and cheese. We also put some salt and pepper and garlic in it as well. So yeah, so eat the food and then let like the food, so the salt and the fats and the acids in food, it opens up your taste buds on your tongue, and that's why you should be, you know, drinking wine with food. Wine is meant to be had after a bite of really good mac and cheese. And it just like, it tastes even better now. Honestly, you can like you get the flavor more. It's pretty yeasty for a glass of Prosecco. Normally with champagne you get like that yeasty flavor, but they have a little bit of it in here, and it's just a delicious dry glass of Prosecco. All right, next up, we're gonna be doing the Aime Levier and chicken tikka samosas. So this is a rosé from France. It's from the Pays d'Oc region, which is essentially just in the Languedoc. That's the region, you can like find it on the label. It says it on the back. And then yeah, so that's how you know where he's from. And it's a Syrah Grenache blend. This was only $7, so we're like bumping the price down even more. And I've never had it before, so buying it I was skeptical, especially, I mean, Trader Joe's, they have great wine, but some of it is not the best. So I was slightly nervous because I've never had it before, but on the label, I saw that it said, where are we? Yeah, it says IGP on the back, which is this way of categorizing wine by region over in France. And typically it's like a government mandated, you know, labeling system. So they check in on these wineries and they're usually quality and pretty good. So this guy, it's not, IGP isn't best of the best, but it's like not too far behind. You can still get some like really good bottles from that, that classification. And so I really love chicken and rosé. So, not chicken in rosé, but chicken and rosé. So I am gonna pair, of course, my chicken tikka samosas with rosé. I'm really excited about it. I've actually never had these before either, but we picked them out. They're really good. They're like ever so slightly spicy, but again, if I can handle it, anyone can. And I don't know, I wouldn't say it tastes exactly like chicken tikka masala, but it does have a little bit of like, you know, Indian spice flavoring to it. And it's a nice crusty, crisp shell. So, and it was $2, so I give it a 10 out of 10. Now I get to try my rosé. It smells like a deeper, obviously it's a deeper, darker rosé, and I think the scent like reflects of that as well. It's super good. This tastes really good. My friend makes a wine over in France, and it's from southern France as well, and also has like a big Grenache base to it. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of it. Hers is like amazing. This is super good too. It's just a little bit richer and more savory, and I think it just goes really well with these like juicy, saucy samosas. Okay, and so for our entree tonight, we have the chicken tamales from Trader Joe's, also frozen, and we're pairing it with the Ailoas Red Blend from Portugal. And so again, Trader Joe's, sometimes I get a little skeptical of the wines just because they are pretty inexpensive. This was $6, so making it the cheapest one we're trying tonight. It's from the Dow region of Portugal. The reason that I chose this one was because Portuguese wines are generally really good value wines as it is. So combine the fact that you can get like a really good bottle from Portugal for an inexpensive price with also the aggressive purchasing power that Trader Joe's has. I figured that like I shouldn't be, swayed or turned, away from the $6 bottle. Not to say I like spending a lot of money on wine, but sometimes when you get into the, $5 range, it can get a little sketchy. And so we're gonna pair this with the chicken tamales, which are some of my favorite things from Trader Joe's. I love them, they're super easy to cook, and they're pretty filling too, and they just have a really great flavor. So Portugal, they make red blends. They love blending a ton of different grapes into one wine. This one has 8 different varietals of grapes in it, so it's just this whole like hodgepodge of different grapes, and I'm hoping it's gonna be really good. So let's start off by trying the tamale. It's so good. It's so moist. I think they do a really good job with the breading. And the flavor of the chicken is just like fantastic. It's saucy on the inside. There's like corn in it. I really like it a lot. And then now I'm excited to try it with the wine. That wine's super good. It's really mellow, and when it goes down my throat, I feel like there's like a piece of like white chocolate like melting over my tongue. I actually totally get like notes of chocolate, specifically white chocolate, in this glass of wine. It's really good. It's like ever so slightly oaked, but not overpowering at all. Gives it some good structure, and I think it's another like just really good bottle that you can get from there. And it's only $6. So yeah, so moral of the episode, you don't have to, spend a lot of money to pair, your really nice wine with some really nice food. There's really great options out there at any grocery store that you go to. You just gotta find them, do a little bit of investigation. Feel free to ask, whoever's working there in the wine section. There's always that person stocking shelves. Like, ask them what they like to drink and see what's good for them, and just give it a shot. It's also a great value if you're just experimenting a little bit. You're not exactly sure if it's gonna be a good bottle or not, but it's like low stakes because it's $6. So I hope you guys go out and start drinking your wine with food, because it just enhances the experience even more. Cheers.